Alrighty, welcome in Play-by-Play Rugby, and it is grand final time in Super Rugby Pacific. What a season it has been, and it's going to be one final showdown for the big dance on Saturday. The Chiefs and the Blues. A big preview coming your way, but in the meantime, I'm going to recap all the action over the weekend and plenty of rugby news as well. Alongside me, as always, Rian Stowers and Tyler Campbell. Before we get this podcast started today, I want to touch on obviously a pretty sad moment over the last few days. Tyler.
Yeah, obviously the passing of Connor and Bishop, and it's real sad to see always when someone passes away sort of that young, let alone someone that sort of has the talent he had and, you know, the promising career he'd already built by the sort of age of 25. And, you know, he was a hell of a player, and I think, you know, a few injuries sort of slowed down his career a bit, but I'll always remember sort of that game he had, I think against the Crusaders, or sort of his first year of Super Rugby, and they went up to Christchurch and he played out of his skin and was easily the best player on the park in an upset win. And yeah, it obviously sucks to see. I think he leaves a pair of twin daughters behind, and, you know, medical event, and don't want to speculate what it was, but, you know, I hope, I wish the best for his family, and I sort of hope all the boys back home that have sort of been exposed to him and played with him, and, you know, I think I might have played against him in 2018. Mm-hmm. Obviously you're doing well as well, because, you know, it's a big loss for the rugby community, and in particular the New Zealand rugby community. So send my condolences to sort of everyone back home at the moment.
Definitely, yeah, we all do. Thoughts and prayers to the family. And it was great to see obviously so much love from the rugby community around the world too. I saw those posts and showing of love was pretty cool, wasn't it, Rick?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, exactly what Tyler said. Someone so young passing away, it's always quite brutal. Yeah. Not
good. So yeah, we wish all the best to the family. In the meantime, a change of pace, a big Super Rugby weekend of semi-final action, boys. We'll get into it for our full recap. The Blues over the Brumbies, 34 points to 20. Another poor start from an Australian team. What'd you make of this one, Ree?
I think that the Brumbies went there with the idea that they were going to be able to get in the half, score points, hold out the Blues, and sort of back their defence, and every opportunity that they would get, they would take the points. And we saw that early on. Blues went there with a complete different mentality. As soon as they got into the 20, they were just pinning for corner. They wanted those tries. And, yeah, I think that the Brumbies tried to back their defence, and it didn't work against that big pack.
It's on the back foot the whole game. So the opening 20, man, they were ferocious from the get-go. How do you see it, Tyler?
Yeah, obviously the Blues came out. They scored that I think it was first couple of minutes, they scored a try. But I think the biggest thing for the Brumbies was their kickoffs.
Yeah,
they couldn't get a reception right, and it's all right to go down there and sort of take 3 points, but if you're turning the ball back over in your sort of 30-metre zone, and
first two times they scored points, they turned it over.
And even
Sounds
I think
familiar.
off the first kickoff, they did the same thing. And, you know, the Blues are a quality side with quality players, and I don't think you're ever going to beat a team like that just defending in your 22. Like, they're big, they're athletic, they're fast, like they're a good football side. So I think, you know, full credit to the Brumbies for fighting back. They sort of got themselves back into that game. I know they felt probably a little hard done by. There was a few calls that sort of didn't go their way, and I remember a couple of those knock-ons, and you can see Valentini swearing at the touch judge, which I was watching going, oh, what's going on here? But the Blues, I think, on the day were the better side still, and definitely deserve to come away with that win. And I think they're obvious favourites going into this weekend, so it's sort of another big week of rugby for us. And, you know, full credit to the Brumbies for sort of being that Aussie team that gets those wins against NZ teams and sticks it out week in, week out, because I think they've been the best over the last sort of 5 years, and hopefully they can sort of keep building on that and eventually get a win over the next couple of years, especially if they get an influx of a couple of good Rebels boys the next year.
Well, we said obviously last week how important Slipper was going to be for their scrum.
Yeah.
In the warm up, like, man, it doesn't get any easier. That was tough.
I think Valentini really stood out though.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be excited to see how he goes for the Wallabies, because like we all know that he has that power in him, but it's sort of been a couple things like one-off runs and stuff like that. But against the Blues, every time he would pick and drive, like you would see, like the Blues defense would start to collapse, and then it would open up opportunities.
Which I think under Joe Smith will be really good.
Yeah,
like he's known as a bit of a attacking mind. You saw how he sort of changed how Ireland play footy. And I think if he can do that with the Wallabies, someone like a Valentini will only grow as a player in terms of sucking players in, and also having the ball skills to sort of play out the back and sort of set up as players around him.
Absolutely. So the Blues head off to the big dance, and then, boys, the next matchup, the Chiefs 30 over the Hurricanes, 30 points to 19. And here it is. TC's very happy about this one. Chiefs jersey is on, and the
Fuck off. Wow.
the Cowbells. If you're listening on the audio version, you got the Cowboys, Tyler. Mate, great day for you, brother.
Oh, great day. And we actually got to watch it with Reece, so this isn't the first of the chat. He's been copying it since that day. But before I get into the game, I've got to shout out the Hurricanes. I don't think anyone backed them to be minor premiers this year. I don't think anyone backed them to sort of be the team they were. And the good thing for them is they're young, and you get Artie Sarver back in there next year. And sometimes they say you got to lose a big one to sort of win a big one. So I think the experience on the Chiefs side helped a lot, and I think the Hurricanes are only going to be better for it next year.
Absolutely. So, obviously, the 2 yellow cards to the Chiefs during that game.
Yeah.
Obviously, they only got that one try in that 20-minute period. It really hurt them. Wallace Satiti was immense, I thought, for the Chiefs.
Yeah, he was... Wallace Satiti was unreal. He was creating plays from nothing, and then Damien McKenzie's game management was unreal. For that 20 minutes that they didn't have the players, slowed it down. All of his kicks were just pinpoint, and I think you could see the difference in experience in both teams. Like from the very start, when the Hurricanes were kicking back to the Chiefs, I don't know how long it took for the Hurricanes to actually run the ball, but they just kept kicking it back, and then even when they were attacking in the 22, they'd start to get a roll on, and I think they'd just pull the trigger too early, couple forward passes, and then the most knock-ons I think I've ever seen in a Super Rugby game. It was hard to watch, especially with him.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, nah.
If we sort of start from the beginning, that first try from the Chiefs, Nadawa, how good was that, boys?
And that's the thing that's so dangerous about the Chiefs. It's all right to kick back to them, but if your kicking game's not 100%, they will turn it into points, or they'll turn it into an attacking position, and that was unreal from Nadawa. He's getting better
all
and
in
better.
one hand at top speed.
Yeah, and going like
beating
this over...
four players and then finds a man on the outside.
Even Finau, he had to finish that as well. It was sick.
Finau.
Yeah, and then to go back to Wallace Satiti, that is one of the best performances I've seen from a number 8 who at the start of the year couldn't actually crack the 23. He sort of built his way in, he got a shot. He probably was their best player, so the last 3 rounds just got better and better, and then was obviously good in the quarterfinal, but that was a very much team-orientated sort of first half against the Reds. But on the weekend, you'd almost say he's played his way into All Black contention, if not into the squad.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if he was in the squad.
And if he has we got Satutu versus Satiti this weekend.
Yeah.
Whoever sort of, if he has another big performance.
If he goes like that again.
He's played his way into a black
Has to
jersey.
be.
And he's only 21.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
that's another major factor, eh? You want to build players that are young, and that's probably where he might get the nod over Braden Yosse.
So it'll be interesting to see there. But it's obviously a big one coming into this weekend, which I'm sure we're going to touch on. And for the Chiefs, I thought it was a gutsy win. When you lose someone like Samisoni Takeaho that early in the game,
bro, even that other hooker,
Bradley Slater was just limp. He just pushed and pushed and pushed until he actually got taken off for a HIA. And to be honest, I think that kind of helped the Chiefs because they were able to bring on an extra back rower at that point when they're under the pump and defend with an extra back rower, which obviously really helps having sort of 4 loose forwards there running around and speed around the corner and sort of matching the pace of the Hurricanes.
Because the Canes got it to 20-14, but it did seem like the Chiefs always sort of had them at arm's length, I thought.
Yeah, I think that you can't win a game with that many errors. At any level, I don't think you can win a game with that many errors. And I think the Hurricanes, like I said, that lack of experience, probably just trying to find things that weren't really there for parts of the game where they were starting to build momentum and they'll just lose it off of, mistakes.
Before we move on, the yellow cards, the head-on-head, the contacts, what do you think?
Sam Penny Finals I thought could gone either way. I'm glad it wasn't upgraded to a red.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there was contact there, but I don't think it was like a lead with the head. It was like a trying to get behind him and put pressure on the kick. The Luke Jacobson one, I was a bit I don't know if that was a card. It was slightly late, but we've definitely seen worse.
100%.
From that man that we just mentioned, Sam Penny Finals.
Bro, he's got a highlight now.
Yeah,
he's got a highlight of just hitting halves late. Yeah.
Um,
Bro, who else? Courtney Laws. used to have the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
highlight.
yeah.
He's just smashing 10s late.
Facts.
The only one that annoyed me was probably in the game where I was blowing up a bit was the Perenara one. And the only reason I think it didn't get checked properly was because he did get run over. Even though it was head on head.
Yeah.
Because he got flattened,
He
it
was-
probably...
yeah, okay.
You probably go, yeah, he
Worked his
didn't
favour.
really...
I think that the ref, like, I know he's one of the best refs, but he gets so involved. Like,
Yeah.
Who was it?
Gardner.
Mate,
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
Rian's favourite person.
He gets so involved, and even like things around the ruck, he just refs it different to what we see normally. I mean, he's still in the laws of the game, like he's not making the wrong calls, but
Yeah.
it's just different to what you're sort of used to. I feel like.
And I think people obviously would blow up about how much Brett Cronin got involved as a TMO as well. But to be honest, I think in a game like that, if it gets missed, then Angus Gardner's getting crucified,
Yeah.
so he has to sort of come in at times. Like there's obviously the forward pass when Asafo Amua made that break, the 2 cards. So he probably come across that he came into the game a bit too much. But imagine on the flip side of it, if he didn't come in, how much people would be
Yeah.
blowing up
Yeah,
for certain
yeah.
things. So
Yeah, you can't win as a ref.
he's there to
Can't win.
he's there to protect the ref. So the ref and the touch judges do miss those calls, and
Yeah.
you know, got to give him credit for coming in because those are ballsy calls to make in a
Big
do or
game.
die game and a big game like that too.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. So we'll move on from that one. We'll get into our grand final preview a bit later on. Some news, boys. In the sevens world, the Olympics, Corey Toole has been going to be in the squad or, had a chance to make it. And, of course, Mark Nawangini-Tawasi's in there as well. I haven't heard anything on Lancaster yet. Good move. Happy with this, boys?
Oh, that's dangerous. I think that gives Oz Sevens what they're sort of lacking.
It makes me feel like we can actually win gold
Oh,
a little bit. Well, medal.
Gives them a chance.
medal,
It gives them
yeah,
a
yeah.
chance.
No, well, the Aussie Sevens is good, but like I feel like the speed part is what they've been lacking, and I think you give Corey Toole one-on-one with a bit of space,
Yeah.
not many people are going to stop him.
You were being a sevens man. Could they take all 3 in the 12? As a positional wise with the speed?
Mark and Corey,
And if Lancaster as
Darby.
well?
I don't think they can take all 3.
No.
It depends if they put Marky Mark as a prop
Yeah.
because he is
Yeah.
quite big and he's really good at the sort of. He'd be good at the kickoff because he's very good in the air.
Yeah.
But you couldn't have them as in the backs because I think it's going to be interesting to see who they drop there because the Aussie backs are normally pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Aussie back. The
Lawson's
halves
been
are pretty much locked.
Yeah,
Sarge,
Sarge,
isn't
Reese.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Marky Mark is maybe a forward, and then you have a strike forward on that edge
yeah.
because he does have the skill set for it. But
Yeah.
But even their forwards are pretty strong. You got that
Yeah.
Lawson,
He's been good this year.
Patterson,
Yeah.
unreal. Patterson is a freak.
Beast. Obviously, Hutchinson's in there and the outside backs.
Yeah.
As well,
So-
yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do fit them.
Mm.
Those
And the
guys are
sevens that-
seasoned. Seasoned sevens players.
You're pretty dirty if you're one of these guys and
Oh.
you play the whole World Series and then
I think you sort of know what's going to happen with the
yeah.
Olympics.
I
You
get
know
it,
that.
like-
You know that big stars are going to try to come in, and because everyone wants to be an Olympian.
and it's the big. If we win gold, if we did win gold, it's a big deal. Like we saw the
Oh,
happened with women.
100%,
It's
exactly.
massive for the game.
Yeah, so you want to do what is in the best interest for your country.
Yeah.
the interesting thing for me is for Corey Toole in particular, prioritising the sevens over the Wallabies. Because for me, he was almost a lot.
Well, I don't think it's his choice. I think RA said
Oh, really?
to do this. Yeah, I don't think he chooses.
Are you sure?
No, I'm
No,
pretty
I'm
sure
not
it'd be individual
reckon?
choice.
Okay, I reckon he's been pushed to go.
Do you think?
I've never heard of a rugby union pushing someone to go
Well, I
and
didn't
play
think.
sevens.
Well, I reckon they said to him, well, "You got opportunity to go win a gold medal potentially." I reckon he's going to want to do that as well. Do you think?
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
interesting to make that decision though.
Yeah. Okay.
Because for him, this could be his one shot at the Wallabies. Gets an injury next year, or
Do you reckon-
something happens.
Do you reckon Schmidt said to him, "All right, mate, do this, and then you'll be a comeback in the squad after"? Because he's done.
Yeah,
before.
maybe end of year he might come
Yeah.
back in after the sevens because
But
it is
they're done
in-
by August.
yeah, it's sort of end of July, so he probably gets the sort of end of year tour.
Well, South Africa. I think their first Test match against South Africa, they're back for.
Yeah,
So,
but it also
okay.
makes it interesting to see who gets picked now in the Wallabies squad and the outside backs.
I seen something. Filippo Dalguni.
It's in the Wallabies squad. Is it talking about?
I seen like it. Not. It's not the. It's like what they think will happen.
He's in the training
I
on
saw a
squad.
couple names.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see what goes with him too, because I've heard rumours that with him off contract,
Yeah,
where
what-
is he going?
Yeah. What's he going to do? I wonder.
I've heard rumours he'll be playing in Brisbane next year, but not for the Reds.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know.
That's sort of.
The Bronx? Is that what you're getting at, mate?
I was more going Dolphins.
Oh, okay. That's Redcliffe. Yeah, fair. Yeah, right. Okay. He'd be good in the league too.
So do I,
he'd
but
be unreal.
I don't know how reliable
Yeah,
these sources are, but for someone that's off contract, and I don't know where he fits in the Reds in terms of their contract status
Yeah.
with their players at the moment. So
Do Do you know if New Zealand Sevens are doing any of this? Any big dogs coming in?
No, because they did it once and it failed miserably.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So unless they start at the start of the year, they don't pick them.
Right. Fair
I
enough.
think that's good.
Yeah.
You want sevens players playing
20,
sevens.
2016, they did it with Sonny Bill. Artie was in there but pulled out. Augie Pulu. Who else went across? There was quite a few that went across and they lost in the quarters to Japan.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go to around the world, boys. Top 14 action in France. The semi-finals on the weekend. La Rochelle beat Toulon and Bordeaux beat Racing 92. So this sets up the semi-finals this week. Toulouse, as we know, so dominant against La Rochelle and Stade Francais against Bordeaux in the semis. Do you guys watch much of this? Like when you can?
I watch highlights here and
Yeah.
there if I'm sitting there flicking through Stan.
Fuck,
But
it's good. I love it, eh?
they play good footy. There's obviously a lot of talent over there too at the moment.
Yeah, it's unreal. So
I'm gonna
that'll
have
be...
to tune in. I don't think I've watched a game ever.
It's not on Stan, the top 14.
Oh, what is it
It's
on?
not on Stan anymore.
Never was. Top 14.
I'm
never
sure.
was.
I thought the highlights were. Maybe I was on YouTube.
I think, yeah, YouTube. But just watching the top 14, the French just get it, eh? Like, it's just packed out every game. Like,
Yeah.
It's just,
Oh, yeah, their fans are unreal.
Yeah. I
Was
think
it
it's
La
the-
Rochelle that won?
they won it last year.
Yeah,
European?
and the did you see the streets?
Oh, Toulouse won it a few weeks ago, that one?
No. The La Rochelle.
Last year.
Yeah,
last year.
Last year.
Or year before.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it was last
Yeah.
year. And
Along
the
the river, was
streets were filled.
Yeah.
And it was just yellow everywhere.
Yeah. It's just so cool. I love everything about it. So I don't mind watching that when we can. So you'd think, so if DuPont could win this, top 14, then he comes in and wins the Olympics, like, fuck. Ridiculous.
And he is the best.
He's unreal.
Like he already is.
Yeah.
Richie Wong. There's a battle going on.
There's a battle going on. And then URC grand final this weekend. Glasgow Warriors, they beat in their semi-final, big upset, and they will play the Bulls in South Africa. They're outsiders from that one.
Yeah, they're gonna get flogged there.
It's tough to play in Victoria. Fuck. Pelotu's fucking killing it. Sione.
Yeah.
And his brother's going over there as well, isn't he?
Is he?
I've heard rumours of that. I don't know if it was locked in.
I reckon he is. The Waratahs, yeah, let him go. Anyway, it's international footy as well, so that's that one's on Stan, I think, if you want to watch that one. And of course, boys, Test match footy begins this weekend as well. June internationals kicks off. South Africa versus Wales, and Japan versus England, and then Fiji are playing a Barbarian side. So it's first chance to look at the Welsh before we play them.
Will these be the top teams?
I'm gonna be honest with you. No, I've already seen them.
Right.
The Welsh. There's no Jack Morgan. Obviously, George North's moved on. Reece Emmett's moved on. I only knew like 2 players in their starting 15.
Yeah, it's a big changeover.
South Africa, I had a look through their team. Good to see Malcolm Marks back out there.
Yep.
I think when healthy, he's the best hooker in the world.
Oh, bro.
Facts.
So he's starting at 2. I think Mpepe is on the wing. Like, it's not their best. Chisland's not playing.
No.
There's quite a few that aren't playing. They haven't been released yet from their clubs because obviously it's an early international, just more of a fine tune before South Africa plays Ireland and obviously Wales play
It's
Oz.
so good that.
So there's quite a few big names out in both teams there. So
Wales are paying $8 if you fancy them.
no,
No chance.
actually, in saying that, Wales in the past have had a good run of sort of upsetting the game against South Africa. Not necessarily getting the win, but keeping it within distance because they just play real disruptive footy and sort of mess with South Africa a bit. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
And then obviously the big one, Japan, Eddie Jones, his first game as head coach, take on England.
It's a Spurs one time want England to win by 80,
Yeah, literally. But
and I don't really like England.
so he obviously is a former England coach
How
as
are you
well.
going, mate?
Yeah.
What?
How are you going to go with this game?
I'm going for Japan.
His hate for England's more than Eddie Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very interesting.
I seen something though. Michael Leach came out and said,
We can be a top 4 team. I
"Yeah,
did
we
see
can
that.
be a top 4 team." And then,
in the world.
Yeah.
yeah, Freeney, Ryan Freeney shares it and goes, "What did he say?
Oh, does
Don't fall for the trap."
Yeah, he's spot on. I saw some press this week as like all the promos about from Eddie Jones beat England for the first time ever. Like they believe they can beat them. So we'll see.
It would be cool.
Yeah, it would be
Oh,
cool.
it'd be great if Japan won.
Oh, yeah, so good.
But my heart's not with Eddie after what he did to the
sort of
Wallabies.
done with him a bit. All right, so that kicks off this weekend as well. So plenty of rugby going on. Before we move on, boys, I want to get your opinions on the state of Super Rugby at the moment. Obviously, where we're at now, we've just lost a team. So next year, it's going to be 11-team comp, but under 6 teams in the finals. Obviously, the whole competition as a whole is under pressure in Australia. What do you think is the best solution moving forward? 25, 26 and onwards. Ree?
I think
Like, do you have a Japan? Do you have an Argentina? What do we do here? Because otherwise, we're looking like fucking extinction at this point.
I don't know. Well, it sort of already does look like extinction, if I'm being honest. Like, both semi-finals weren't even packed out. And, like, there was there was some good footy on, and even the Brumbies, like that looked bad.
Yeah, hard part is Eden Park is also a massive stadium. I think it fits like 60,000
Well, that's sold out.
This
for
weekend.
this weekend.
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
Which is good.
which is good. But like, I mean,
Helps the Chiefs are only an hour and a half down the highway.
I just feel like the decision to make Stan the only thing that showed rugby, I feel like it's just killing rugby, sort of like generationally. Like, because when we were growing up younger, you could watch it.
You do realise it was on Fox before, which was like
Yeah.
they had to pay for as well
Yeah.
Yeah, but you pay
Foxes-
for it to get a lot
because
more.
you had league and stuff as well. Yeah.
And Fox is more like you go to the pub and they've got
Fox
Fox.
on, yeah.
Yeah. And even when we were younger, like what you could watch
Yeah, the
the
access was
rugby
easier.
union, it was free to air, there were ads about it. Like it was almost everywhere. Like I remember I'd go to primary school and if the Wallabies beat the All Blacks, hardly ever, but if they did, like the newspaper would be up in my classroom.
Yeah,
Like
it was huge.
I just don't think it's like
But-
reaching those places anymore.
And that comes down to the popularity of the sport as a whole, because these networks aren't as invested. They're not getting the return on it.
Yeah,
as they used to,
exactly.
you know?
Yeah,
So-
yeah. So yeah, but I think that almost taking the stand was like a quick fix, and now it's like detrimental to rugby at the moment.
So what do we do with the comp as a whole, though, teams wise? You have do you just keep doing with the 11-team format, or
Can you bring Japan in? Is Japan even interested in coming in? They've got their
yeah,
comp over there, which is thriving at the moment. You got so much talent over there.
Yeah.
Most people that aren't getting a crack over here are going over there anyway.
yeah, I don't think Argentina is an opportunity for us.
I think Argentina would be the best opportunity. What do they
Super
have?
Rugby Americas. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
that comp.
I've seen a few solutions.
Hit me, Tyler.
One was opening it up like an NRL format where New Zealand players can come across and play in Aussie teams,
Yeah,
which I don't think is a good thing for Aussie rugby.
Nope.
you don't like it.
My
Do you
reasoning
think it's
for
good
that
for the game
is
as a whole?
it could be good for the comp.
Yeah,
But here's the problem: is now you're going to bring over a whole heap of Kiwis that have development systems, all this. Then now you're looking at the pathway for Aussie teams. It's going to look hard for those Aussie players to sort of get into the spot. You know what I
Step
mean?
up through the ranks.
If
and
you've
all
got, let's look at the Reds. You've got Tom Lyon and Harry McLaughlin Phillips, two young Aussie 10s, Wallabies prospects. We go over and we sign a Damien McKenzie to come play for the Reds. Now what do?
yeah,
They sit there and miss out and don't get the experience and the sort of foot forward they need to be stepping into sort of that Wallabies and getting that form. So that's probably the one thing I'd say. I think it helps the comp out as a whole.
Yeah, it'll fix the comp, but it
but
won't help Australian
It doesn't help the
rugby.
development
Yeah.
of players.
yeah. True.
Especially when there's only 4 teams in Oz at the moment. The thing for Oz is they've got to find a way to convince New Zealand, because New Zealand has a provincial comp they can fall back on and invest money into and will still be pretty big. I did see this thing, I did save it, around crowd numbers. And
Oh,
I think
yeah?
this could be a big fix. So top 14, Premiership, Rugby, Top League, NRL, AFL, Scottish Premiership, the Danish, like they're all up by minimum 15% in crowd since 2002.
This is fans in stadium.
Fans in
No?
the stadium.
Yeah.
Super Rugby NZ is down 42% since 2002, so it's gone from 22,000 down to 13,000. Super Rugby AU is down from 24,000 to 10,000. So they've had a 57% decrease in crowds.
Wow, that's.
I think they've got to get rid of the fun police in the stadiums because they're so
That would
strict.
definitely help.
Like,
100%.
get people into the stands.
Yeah.
They go there, they watch the game. Then when they get out to sort of back home, they can't go. They're going to go in and watch it or try and find a way to watch the game.
Yeah,
But when there's no crowd, you don't want to watch it.
yeah.
So you've got to sort of limit the fun, please. And I think that's where New Zealand and Australia in all sporting codes struggle a bit at the moment because everything's so strict in stadiums. But you go overseas, you watch the soccer. They're chanting, they're yelling at each other, they're sculling beers,
Yeah.
and no one's kicking them out for it. Like sometimes the chants are borderline. As long as there's no racism or anything like that involved,
Yeah.
I think
Fair.
let the chants go.
Yeah, I'm surprised
Alright.
they do that here.
Professional athletes, like we compete in club rugby. People slid you. If that's distracting you from playing your game, probably shouldn't be a professional athlete.
Yeah, facts.
You're getting paid the big bucks for that reason. You know, it is entertainment, and that's entertaining to the fans. You know, some people are obviously dickheads about it. I'm not going to deny it, but you got to find a way to get those numbers into the stadium.
Yeah.
Imagine if the Suncorp had like a zoo, and all the UQ students are coming, the Griffith or
Yeah.
whatever it is, and there's a big thing. They're letting them get absolutely pissed in the stands and Obviously, we don't want things like fighting and stuff because that obviously brings our game down. But at least that boosts the numbers up and it sort of gets people watching the game.
How the sevens have done a little bit, so that fun
People
atmosphere?
dress up,
Yeah,
get that atmosphere going, people dancing. Let someone take their shirt off. Someone takes their shirt off and starts swinging it around. Is it really affecting anyone?
No, so that happens. They'll say, "Sort it out, stop."
If you took your shirt off in the stadium, I reckon you get kicked out.
Really, fuck.
We've been to those Reds games.
Probably,
They're so
yeah,
strict.
yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize it's gone that bad.
You can't even like
You
stand
can only
up
buy
for too
for like
long.
4 drinks at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. There's so many rules these days. That's the interesting you said about the New Zealand numbers there, because we know Australian rugby is suffering, but New Zealand's always been pretty strong. That's your major code. Why is that, you think?
It's down, like, obviously, but also I think our viewership's up.
The broadcast numbers are up, yeah.
I think it's it could be down to competition.
The New Zealand derbies
yeah.
is a lot more.
Yeah, the New Zealand derbies get more crowds than if a New Zealand team was to verse like a Brumbies or something.
We just saw it on the weekend.
And then back in the day, you're versing South African teams, and like those were all the superstars. It was like big name players all coming together playing.
Monastein,
Yeah,
Scott Berger, yeah.
I don't want to get into this too much
Yeah.
because I'm not a political guy, but living in New Zealand is not cheap at the moment.
Okay.
Like petrol and that's up. Someone was telling me it's like close to $4 at the moment for
right.
petrol. Tickets to games aren't cheap either.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to go, okay, I need petrol in my car or I want a ticket to the Blues Chiefs this weekend.
Yeah, there's an economic factor now as well.
There's a bit of an economic factor going on in New Zealand, and I think that sort of does bring the crowd numbers down. But I also think the sort of lack of interest in the comp, especially when a team like the Satyrs wins 7 in a row.
Yeah.
So I think if we can sort of have a different winner every year, it's going to pick it up a bit more, with the playing field being a bit more level.
And if you look at it away from the rugby point of view, I think we just look at the years. Like, there's so many other options now as a consumer on a Friday night. I can sit down and watch Netflix or my iPad or people sometimes don't.
that is true.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Back in the day where I got to go watch the game live. That's all I've got.
Yeah, fuck.
You didn't
We're going
have-
deep into this.
If I didn't have a DVD,
Yeah, like
I was watching the TV, and the rugby's on. I watched the rugby
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
rather
now
than a
it's-
rerun of Friends.
yeah, like now there's just so many options as well. I think that's a factor as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll see how it all pans out. But yeah, we need rugby to thrive in this.
Yeah. Other codes are managing to do it. We need to as well.
Well said, Ree. Well said. All right, boys, let's get into our grand final preview. The last dance, the Blues taking on the Chiefs. Before we do that, the tipping from last week, boys. I was dreadful once again. 1 from 4. You guys both went 3 from 4. Of course, you got
Brumbies line wrong.
correct, and you obviously backed the Canes to win, but you got the Chiefs to cover, so that kept you in the sniff. So congratulations, mate. You are the tipping champion for 2024. You cannot be caught.
That's all that matters then.
Well done, mate. You've been very sharp. 73 from 95, with obviously the 2 to go this weekend. You and me, mate, still fighting it out. You were in the box seat 68 from 95, and I'm 66 from 95. So really fallen off the last few weeks.
So I have to get both wrong for you to catch me.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's
It could happen.
It could happen
I know.
because
He's going for
I
the
know.
Chiefs.
So let's see. Alrighty, the Blues $1.45, the Chiefs $2.70. The line is 6.5 as of right now. That could move as we would expect. Obviously, boys, we're seeing the teams' key matchups everywhere. Let's break it down. What do we think?
Who is going to play the hooker role for?
Oh no, they're sweet.
Yeah, sorry. So,
Oh, they're both good.
No, Sonny's not. Tyron
Oh.
Thompson comes in.
yeah, his
Yeah.
first start in 2024.
He
the
was
grand final.
he was an All Black contention last year, so he's a good
Yeah,
hooker.
yeah.
And Bradley Slater's on the bench. He cleared his HIA. Probably had about 5 cortisone injections on the Monday.
Yeah,
which has
what-
got him through
what
the
happened
game.
to him?
I think he just got a bad bang on his knee. You know the ones that can sort of
Yeah, and lock it up.
hinder
Like
you a
jam
little
it
bit.
up.
Yeah, so he's named on the bench, but he could be a late withdrawal. So I don't know who comes in if he gets withdrawn in the warm up or something.
And then the rest unchanged.
Stevenson
Yep.
back in.
Sean Stevenson's back in.
But the big one with the Blues, Patrick Tuipulotu is in, the skipper. So,
Makes him bigger.
yeah. So, there's going to be key matches everywhere. Obviously, as we mentioned, Tutu going up against Wallace Atiti. It's going to be pretty good as well.
Yeah.
Ree, what do you...
I'm gonna back the Chiefs.
Yes, good boy.
Okay.
I think D-Mac is just a complete player, and if it gets tough, he's so good at controlling the game. Like you saw on the weekend when they went down 2 players, everything he touched was perfect. If he kicked long and it would find space. If he went high, it was contestable. He did. What was that fucking kick that he did? Was it a torpy?
The torp, and it went and
He did a
bounced and
torpy
curved.
bomb and got a 50-22.
He's
He's
superhuman.
Yeah.
that guy.
So I'm backing Damien McKenzie to win the final.
Fair enough. Before we get on to any further, I've So 31-17 a few weeks ago when these guys met in the regular season. The Blues haven't lost to the Chiefs at Eden Park since 2020. The last 12 meetings, the Blues lead 7-5 overall.
Also haven't lost at home this year, the Blues.
No, they have not.
Fortress.
And obviously, so 2-2 scored 12 tries this season, and Narawa 10 tries this year. So those two leading the try-scoring fronts as well. All right, let's go your picks first. So you're going to go...
I'm going to go Chiefs, Blues to cover the line within 6, is it?
Well,
No,
if
they Chiefs win, they cover the line's been
because
covered.
they win.
Oh,
Because they had a 6.5 handicap.
okay.
Try scorers?
Narawa for sure. And so 2-2.
Yeah, I like that. Correct score.
I'm not good at this because then I have to think about how all the possibilities and the points add up.
I did tell you this at the start of the week, but sure.
Yeah, I know.
He ain't doing math in his spare time.
Yeah, 30.
Mm-hmm.
So 21.
Were you doing math?
Fuck,
Right.
yeah, I can't do it. Okay, I'm just going to go 30, 25.
Okay, I like it.
Was that all unconverted tries?
Yes.
I
But,
just think it will be within 5 points.
Okay.
But it will be high scoring.
All right. Nick Berry is the referee too, by the way. He gets the nod.
Fuck.
So that'll be interesting. All right, Tyler, what do you think? I think I know where you're going, but break it down for me.
Look, I can't go against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I've pretty much rooted with them the whole year. So I've obviously got to stay a bit loyal. In terms of the game, I think Chiefs have the same sort of game plan where they've got their type 5's got to front up. The Blues' strength is their sort of big forward pack. I think so we sort of match them in the loose forwards, but it's our tight 5, especially our second rowers that need to have big games. And I thought Tupou Vai had a massive game on the weekend and was underrated in terms of what he did around the pitch for the Chiefs. Nick Berry makes it interesting. Obviously, got to be a bit smarter around sort of contact and stuff because he is known to give out a card. And I think that can affect both teams because there's guys that are a bit loose and love to try and put big shots on and sort of can flirt with the sort of height of their tackles at times. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. For me, I think a big inclusion for the Chiefs, and I think we missed him last week, is Sean Stevenson, though. I think at times Eddie Nanai had those little chip kicks and his kicking game ain't as strong as Shooters is at the back. So I think
Definitely not.
Again, that takes pressure off Damien for him to even play better again.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how that sort of plays out, and hopefully he pulled himself out with a hammy niggle last week. So I'm hoping this week he's ready to go and hopefully ready to go win a grand final. So
Giddy up.
that's my thing. So yeah, I got the Chiefs to win this, and I think it's going to be a cracker of a game. And I know it's meant to rain in Auckland on Sunday. I just had a look.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that holds off because I think every fan wants to see an exciting rugby final with the ball being chucked around like both teams can because both backlines are dangerous.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see it.
100%.
Try scorers?
I'm going to try to go different to Ree here. Tyrone Thompson, I reckon he knocks down in the hooker roll
there you
off
go.
a rolling ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's an option for them. And I'm also liking Sam Penny-Finau at the moment because he is spending a lot of time out on that edge outside Narawa and outside the backs. You saw he almost set up that flick pass in on the weekend.
Yeah.
That got denied. That was
He's
really close.
Millimeters on that
On the
one.
Blues side, obviously their wingers are both obviously options, but I'm actually going to back Rico Ioane here.
Yeah, okay.
I think he's probably due a try. I don't think he's scored in a few weeks. He's just been outstanding defensively. And then in the forwards, I like the look of Paddy Toops on his return game.
Yeah,
He's that strong near the line. Blues get in there.
Maybe
He's
fired up
big
too.
and strong, so he'd be one I think that might dot down. Interested to see what his minutes are,
Yeah.
whether he's on a restriction or not. So there'll be something to watch.
So you boys obviously have just chosen the underdog here to win. The Blues haven't lost at home all year. Like why? Like where's the opportunities against the Blues?
Waikato teams love beating Auckland.
Okay, yeah.
Like, it's just a thing when I was playing over there and we were in Hamilton. We thrived on the big brother, little brother relationship that there is there. Like, obviously, Hamilton's just below Auckland. You want to go up there and beat them at Eden Park.
Yeah.
And you spend the whole week, they always normally get people in and they show clips of when, like, you've gone up there and you've beaten the big brother up there. It's like I don't know, it's something that gives you a bit of an extra leg and makes you want to play even better than you have before. So that's where I'm sort of looking at it. I think, underdogs where the Chiefs want to be. I think they enjoyed being the underdog last week.
Yeah.
And I think they'll enjoy being the underdog again this week, especially with a lot of talk around, there's a lot of players out. It's going to make it too tough for them. That stuff sort of will sit in their mind and sort of give them extra motivation. I don't think there's any weaknesses in the Blues that are obviously big to expose. But I just think the Chiefs counter. I think they just got to rely on the Blues to make mistakes. And I thought their D last week against the Canes was outstanding. Like Rian talked about the errors. I think a lot of it was pressure and line speed. And sort of Anton Leonard-Brown led that a lot last week, and I think he leads that again.
I think that the Blues have one like major weakness that is probably why the Chiefs will win, and that's they don't have a Damian McKenzie.
Same with the Hurricanes, big experience difference.
Yeah, exactly. I think the experience of Damian McKenzie. I just honestly think a player like that is able to win games single-handedly as long as everyone else is doing their job.
Yeah.
And I seriously think that he'll do it. Like he's just been unreal this season, creating something from nothing, and then on the weekend saw him just literally just take control of the game.
As much as it's a Blues home game, expect a big contingent of Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
They'll get buses up there. There'll be a lot of fans going up, especially with it only being an hour and a half drive.
Yeah, 100%. As you expect, should be an absolute blockbuster. Well, I'm going to go the Blues because, one, I'm chasing here. And we did our preview show at the start of the year. I said the Blues to win, so I might as well stick with
This
it.
was the final I'm pretty sure we all predicted.
Yeah.
I had
the Blues
I think
Chiefs.
it is, yeah.
Fuck yeah, sharp.
So we've done well there.
Actually, you said that I picked the Hurricanes in the final way.
Yeah, you probably did you? Oh, you probably
I
did.
can't remember.
No, I'll have to check.
I think we talked about Blues Chiefs as our
Yeah.
big two.
Yeah. I think, at the start of the season, we knew that Blues and Chiefs were the big two. We didn't even see Hurricanes in that top three.
Yeah. Also, go us, boys. For Super Rugby season, podcast every week. Good shit, boys. Well done.
Some of us turned up every week.
Yeah, pat off. That's a good shit.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Proud of us.
Except that you just kept trying to have shows during the day while I'm working.
Yeah, well, you know,
Just be better, mate.
priorities.
So, are we going to have to do it international?
Yeah, international season. We'll keep going.
Fucking on oath.
Bloody hell, we're just getting started, boys. I'm going to go the Blues to win. And I was going to go Chiefs to cover, but I'm leading you by 2. So I need you to butcher both of them.
You need the Blues to flog them.
Yeah, so I'll go Blues to cover as well. Try scorer like Clark. So 2-2 to crash over. Full-time score 32-28, the Blues.
Oh, I didn't pick one, did I? I'm going to go 29-24 to the Chiefs.
Okay, like it. There we go, boys. That's
we got
it.
1 point difference. Both teams.
Do we?
I did 30-25.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
Wait,
I'm backing Damian McKenzie's boot. He was 6 for 6 on the weekend.
Yeah.
And I think he was like 8 for 9 against the Reds.
I also learned something about myself on the weekend.
Oh, yeah?
I shouldn't go to other people's houses to watch games that I'm very passionate about.
Yeah, we didn't really get into that. How was that experience with you?
Terrible for me. Must have been amazing for Tyler, but
Especially when everyone was back in the Canes. Everyone was against me.
No, everyone was for you. Everyone was like off the Canes. I was about to stand up. No.
Were you a sore loser? You're all right.
It wasn't a sore loser.
I wouldn't say sore. Yeah,
Okay.
I just didn't speak. But throughout the game, I was speaking very verbally. So I had to message.
Very verbally?
Yeah,
There
is that
was
a
a
word?
lot of profanity.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had to message Tiff after.
This is one of you with your family, too, mate? Who was there?
No.
Zane Nongle's mum.
Okay.
So little did we know we actually had like Spencer Jeans' farewell before he goes over to Japan.
Yeah.
I thought it was a barbecue of just the boys.
Yeah, so did I.
And until there was a heap of parents that stayed around and watched the game and was sitting around the lounge when
Yep.
me and Rian were
All
yelling
of
at each
them.
other.
They were just all sitting in the lounge, and I was every single time the Hurricanes dropped the ball, which was 16 times. I'll go.
He was counting.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah,
I've watched the game with you. I know what you like.
yeah, it wasn't good. And so I messaged Tiff after the game. I was, thank you for having me. I'm very sorry for the profanity.
How was her response?
She was like, nah, we love it. We love having you there.
Love
We
the
love
passion.
watching the game with passionate supporters.
fair,
It brings the game to life.
I don't know if they really remember. They were the parents were probably more drunk than
I had a crack as well.
the young boys.
Lovely. So you guys, before we move on to, you got West this weekend. Bit of club rugby, you had the bye on the weekend, obviously. Yeah, it's annoying. You guys have come off the field and this game will be starting, which is a bit annoying.
Yep. And I'll be in my car driving down to my sister's formal with it probably on
Oh,
my
true.
dashboard. So Queensland, please leave me alone driving to my sister's formal.
How are we feeling about West? Obviously, big game, boys. How exciting.
Yeah, big pack. They've got a big side. I think front up physically, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's obviously a challenge in itself. Obviously, they put a big win on Sunnybank last week, and
Yeah.
I think for us, it sort of can be tough coming off a bye. It can sort of disrupt your continuity a little bit, and sort of cause you to relax a bit too much. So we can't afford to do that against West. They'll put 30 points on in 10 minutes.
They have,
Yeah.
I think I did that the first time.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did it in
exactly.
20 minutes. So we've got to find a way to front up. And I thought last night our training was really good and got really intense, and the intensity was high. I won't say exactly what happened, but
It's good, passionate.
big challenge for us is who also runs out for West. And I think you got to lift sometimes if Carter Gordon does play. Obviously, a few of those other Rebels boys back and looking to get minutes and stay fit heading into next season. And in some cases, playing for a contract for next year. So we've got to take that as a challenge that, hey, we get to go up against professional rugby players.
Yeah.
This is our chance to sort of lift to the moment and sort of prove that, you know,
Oh, people are watching, mate.
people are watching, especially some of our younger boys that are aspiring now to be professional rugby players. They got to go and show that they can sort of match up physically and be as skillful as those boys. So yeah, it's a good challenge for us, and I'm looking forward to it.
You any mail on Carter or anything?
I was running around in their training video.
Yeah. Him and Hunter were, actually.
Hunter was a bit rugged up, but
Yeah.
Hunter will be named on Friday, so we don't have to worry about him.
Yeah.
If Hunter's not named Friday,
Wallaby squad. Mate, he's his first name on the sheet.
100%.
Surely.
has to be
Who's before him? No one.
No one. Yeah.
Valentini.
Lovely.
Maybe. But I think,
else?
yeah. Well, we're signed at the top of the table at the moment, but I think it's a well-known in the comp. They are the most dangerous team. So if you don't show up, you're done.
You get found out.
Yeah.
All right. So tune in. These boys will be in action just before Super Rugby kicks off. You can watch these boys do their thing. 3 p.m. kickoff on Stan. All right, boys. Anything making them mad, Ree? Go on.
Just Tyler.
Yeah.
All of last week. Yeah. Other than that, no, not a lot. Oh, and the Warriors as well.
Oh, the
Fucking
Wild.
the worst weekend I've had.
Let's blow a
Yeah,
14-point lead.
they can't win at home, man.
No,
you
they-
notice that? They always win better.
They can't win when they get a lead. If they get a big
14
lead, they blow
points.
it.
I was like, oh my god, they're about to break the
Yeah,
losing streak.
You had a tough weekend all around, didn't you?
Oh, I said this to him. I was like, for one of us, this could be a terrible weekend.
And then the Conor
And it was
McGregor
me.
fight got cancelled.
Yeah.
Everything was against Rian on the weekend.
Not this weekend, mate. Turned around. Origin squads. Game 2 got named. Any thoughts around that?
Good to see Latrell in there. I
The
think he's an
Blues.
X-Factor guy.
This will be an easy dub for the Blues, I reckon.
Easy dub.
I'm gonna
Where
call
is the
it
game?
Melbourne.
12 plus.
Well, yeah, it always teases it up now, and then the third one's at Suncorp. So, like, make it 1-1.
12 plus for the Blues.
Like, you did the Brothers East game on the weekend, didn't you?
I did.
That's what's making me mad.
Oh, no.
That is the most excited I've seen you on commentary
You
in
are-
weeks.
What the?
Mate, you were almost screaming. I was
You
wondering
weren't-
if you're going to have a voice today. It's because we weren't there.
Mate, you weren't watching. What are you talking about?
Mate, I watched a little bit of highlights
We
because
saw the
the
clips.
main game
Yeah,
was on.
Yeah, okay.
You see the prop make a break, and I was,
Mate, it was a good moment for the big
mate, I
fella.
was coming into spec like you'd pop like a
I was
eye
fired
vessel or something.
Well, you guys do that on the weekend?
You say that he looks like a prop and you don't get that.
I don't
Yeah,
say
that
that.
is fact.
That's what you said to me when I came in just before.
You're like, oh yeah, looking kind of thick.
I thought we're over this, though. We're just going to be a regular thing.
No, we're just going to keep bringing it up.
But on that, brothers, fuck, they were sharp again.
They're a good side, and the scary thing is they've got a lot coming back. Obviously,
They're getting better.
O'Connor's obviously going to jump back in there. Wouldn't be surprised if Hamish Stewart
Lawson?
runs in. Heard rumours Lawson's going to Japan.
Okay.
Rumours.
No,
Don't
that,
quote me,
that seems
guys.
on brand, though.
People are probably going to start listening to this podcast, and people are actually going to go to these places and be like, "How's this prick know stuff?"
We need to have the what's that thing called? And it's like a write up.
Well,
Like everything that was said here can't be.
yeah, disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. We did a disclaimer for
it's a
everything
disclaimer.
he says.
Don't come out.
I hear things and I keep it, and I'm like, that's interesting. But yeah, Lawson's obviously another one.
Yeah, okay.
Then obviously in the forwards, Ryan Smith maybe. I don't know
Yeah.
whether he'll be in or out of the Wallabies. He's
I heard
obviously-
whispers as well.
He'll be on the borderline
Yeah.
either way. Fezler won't be there. McWright won't be there. Tim Ryan, another one that could go either way.
He'll be in the squad, I reckon.
It depends. Yeah, it depends. I don't know if Corabetti and that are part of it.
No, I heard he's not picking international guys, but I'm not sure that Japan counts because their season's done.
Yeah.
But like no skeleton and stuff, I
Yeah.
don't think. Anyway, but yeah, look to wrap up here. Anything else? Reed? All goods? Tyler?
Oh, Celtics, well done.
Yeah.
Celtics get the chip.
NBA.
Most hated team in the NBA winning. It's good to see everyone sucking about it.
Yeah.
But it was good to
Why
see.
does everyone hate that?
Everyone hates
Um,
Boston, don't they?
Boston's
They just
like
win
your. If I was to describe Boston, it'd be like
Crusaders?
they're the KKK. Yeah, like the Crusaders. Boston are known for their racism, but get behind their basketball team.
Disclaimer.
And the
Hey,
Patriots.
this is
obviously.
facts.
And the
There's a
Patriots.
reason they think Larry Bird in Boston is the GOAT.
Because he's white.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
A lot of patriotic whites in Boston.
Oh, that's a fact.
Well, I'm not saying
It's
Boston's
not a
racist,
fact,
sure.
but it's implied.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. All right. So next week we'll be back. Our grand final review international footy, boys. The squads get announced. We might name our predicted squads for first test matches. Wallabies, New Zealand, see what we think. Olympic build-up, start pushing more into that a bit more. And fuck yeah, it's all happening.
And we'll be celebrating, hopefully, a Chiefs win.
And a Bond win.
Yes, hopefully.
Yep.
Lovely. On that note, thank you for listening, viewing, subscribing. Share it around. We're making some moves. We're doing our best. Give these boys plenty of stick on the weekend, and we'll see you next week.
What the fuck?
Bye.